Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. And keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes to understand what is the purpose of this practice and how we can get into that purpose. So when it comes to the Buddha's teaching, practicing meditation means mainly it's about developing the mind. We call it mental culture. So when we develop, there are few things that you have to do. It is not just not doing anything. It is because if you just not doing anything, the things itself going to be the same. So that's why you have to have the effort, strength, the wisdom, understanding to go against this nature. Nature means this our deeper emotional current. Otherwise, it's going to take you again and again and again and again with action, reaction, result, action, reaction, result. There is no end. So when it comes to practicing meditation, there are two things. One is purifying the mind. Get out of all the unwholesome action or the negative thoughts or unprofitable actions. And other thing is the cultivation of the profitable action. To do this both, you have to see the mind. Because without seeing the mind, how you can purify it? So then when it comes to see the mind, you have to have the ability of introspection. Because in day-to-day life, we have the nature always looking to outside. But now you have to develop the current or the mechanism to go inward, see the mind. For that, from the beginning, you need a kind of like a primary mental object. So that is where we follow the breathing. So once you come to focus to the breathing and observe the breathing, by the time the body, mind, the breathing start to settle down as one, then slowly you can see how thoughts arise and disappear. So you start to see the thoughts, you start to see the nature of the mind. And then by the time in day-to-day life, what happens, more than any other time, you start to see when the thoughts arise from the beginning of it, not later. So that is where you can take very conscious decision to change the thoughts. Of course, to change your own inner thoughts, you have to have some kind of wisdom, because it is not easy. But as human beings, that is the only power that we have. Changing our intention. That is the highest ability that you can develop as an ordinary human being. Try yourself. Can you see your intention and change it? Or are you washed away with it? Go with it. When the thoughts arise, behind that thoughts, there are certain intentions, desires. If you see that, can you change it? If it is unwholesome action, can you change to wholesome? If it is a wholesome action, can you develop it? You can look into that. We are, as human beings, remember, if you're capable to change this conscious decision, you will experience the power of the human mind. When we look at the world, that is where most of time we fail. But that is the only strength we have, but most of time we don't master that self, that skill. Change the intention. When it comes to animal world, that the animals have nature like us. Most of the animals, their teeth are very dangerous. But more for the human beings, that is one of the most beautiful things. Any human being, when they smile, and even though we use the teeth to eat meat, we don't use it to kill others. We can't do that. And when it comes to our fingers, and there are a lot of animals, their fingers so dangerous. They use it to kill others. Even sometimes that just a little bit touch is enough. But for us as human beings, we shake hands and we use these hands to help each other. And most of time, people keep it so clean and beautiful. When it comes to women, they always do nails and put design, and they keep it like more pleasant, beautiful. We don't use kind of like a fingers to kill each other. And when it comes to our head, we don't have horns to kill each other. We have a brain. We always try to protect our head, putting helmet. Why? Because the most important one of the part in our body is brain. And once the brain dead, People, even sometimes if the heart work, if the brain dead, they take kind of like you are kind of like a dead. So brain is one of the major important part. So when it comes to other animals, when they fight, okay, they hit each other with the head. But when it comes to human, they always protect the head. you know, even boxing, they try to keep, protecting the head like this. And in any situation come, whatever you try to keep protect it. You never go with the head to hit somebody. So we are human beings that survive with intelligence. So that intelligence means always remember your conscious decision. So then you have to cultivate it, because that is the only way you can survive. So then when it comes to that surviving in conventional level, and at the same time in larger scale, that your spiritual development means you are surviving from this suffering or this worldly nature. You find the freedom means you develop your wisdom. Otherwise, you can't find the freedom. Even look at that, even maybe you have so strong physical strength, but still, if you are not wise, sometimes you build up a prison yourself. So this human life is depend on, your life depend on, always remember, money is important, this material things important, physical health important, but still the major part in our life, wisdom. So that's why practicing meditation allow you to develop that. Conventionally, having a wisdom to deal with this world, and at the same time deeply in the spiritual world. Ultimately, dealing with our own inner nature. Conventionally, you have to have some wisdom to deal with outside world, but liberation or the nibbana happen not dealing with the outside world. How are you going to deal with your inside? That is not easy. When it comes to this outside world, whatever, people do this black magic things to deal with this, all the evil spirits and disease, more than any other time we are capable to track and understand and find solutions and develop an immunity to deal with this disease. And there are many viruses, and we are more stronger than any other time in this human history. So we have certain kind of antidote, and even unknown situations arise. As soon as possible, people can develop some kind of counterattack to survive from it. So like that, we are capable to overcome any outside challenge most of time. But the most dangerous thing happen in our mind with these negative emotions is very, very difficult to deal. It is very difficult to overcome by us. So then that is where your spiritual development can, how much you can deal with you, especially your ignorance, self-grasping, self-cherishing, self-view, self-centered mind. So this kind of attitude hold you to this samsaric journey. So how you can deal with that? That is about your mind. That's about your habitual patterns. That is about your repetition. That is about your emotions, your desires, your thoughts, your mental formations, your cankers, your sanskaras. How you can deal with it. And at the same time, what the Buddha taught, so practicing meditation is a method that you develop this self-mastery through self-realization and more into yourself and recognize the very nature of the mind, the very behavior of the mind. So for that, there is a method. So that method, like as example, we call it course. So the course is kind of like a gradual method, gradual practice. So when you gradually practice, you become graduate. It's kind of like a graduated. So you become more advanced. So this is a gradual practice and it is a very sustainable practice. Here, for this inner development or self-mastery or self-realization or for your inner freedom, for your introspection, no shortcuts. This method doesn't work with kind of like a very secret tips. Like sometimes there are gurus give certain secret tips that you can unlock a kind of like a very secret power. But this is not going to work like that. This doesn't work with certain kind of techniques work only for you. It's not like that. So this is very sustainable, gradual practice. And at the same time, it is more visible. There's nothing to hide. And when you become more and more and more open, when you become more and clear, out of that clarity, you develop kind of a wisdom. This is how this path. So it is not kind of like you withdraw, you hiding, go towards darkness. No. So in the very basic level, in this gradual practice, the very foundation is ethical practice. As a human being, as I mentioned, practicing with the compassion, loving kindness, generosity, it's kind of like a very non-violence behavior. So that ethical practice allow you to have a kind of like a very safe environment for you and for others. And at the same time, it gives you a very clear foundation to be sustainable yourself, to have the comfort. Because that whatever our actions creates reactions and that reactions bring the result, which We are responsible for that. So then when you come to ethical practice, you don't need to afraid for anything. And once you have the clarity within yourself to develop the loving kindness, compassion, empathy, generosity, so this kind of things, and having non-violence behavior, your mind going to become more relaxed, comfortable. You don't have any fear. And so that fearless, sustainable, comfortable environment allow you to have a moment to sit yourself with this undisturbed mind. So that lead you to have to develop your concentration. So most of time we say busy mind, busy mind. So that busy mind most of time happens. That mostly related to our ethical behavior. So that's why withdrawing from that unethical, emotional based, desire based, self-centered, related to greed, hatred, and the delusion, physical, mental, verbal action, if we can withdraw from it a little bit, then you will see how the mind settles down itself a little bit. You feel more relaxed, comfortable. You feel more grounded. And that will help you to develop concentration, or we call it tranquility mind, undisturbed mind. So once the undisturbed mind is there, remember our purpose is go inward, see the very nature of our inner mind. Now you see all your form, feelings, perception, volition, recognition, that's all 5 aggregates itself change. And once you understand that, it develops the wisdom. And that is the highest wisdom that you can gain. And then you recognize this everything related to heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. Those are the fundamental properties of this entire universe. So you are very byproduct of these 4 elements. Your body is a byproduct of that, and out of that, the consciousness also part of it. It is not separate from that. So even it is separate, now you can see the consciousness itself, not a independent, unchangeable something. So even the consciousness also moment by moment change. So now you recognize the experiencer itself, the self itself, subject itself change. Because of that change, your experience happens. You see in this very moment because of the result, as a result of the change happen inside. Otherwise, you can't experience this. So then the change itself is the foundation of the self or the experiencer. When the day you understand that, you never go into build up an idea related to you, kind of like thinking unchangeable, solid, permanent, kind of like as a permanent entity. So that introspection, that deeper understanding, release you from this grasping, clinging nature. So once you understand that, this experience a change, this whatever outside, itself going to release. So that understanding itself give you the ultimate freedom. So it is a step-by-step, gradual course, not just overnight going to happen this. For some people, it may happen. But basically, overall, we have to be patient, consistency, and clarity, effort, and conviction, and the trust. So confidence, this all you have to bring together and put it to your own inner practice. Not about outside. It's about you. If you have that related to you, then your practice is going to become more and more and more sustainable. So that's why you always remember, just practicing meditation doesn't mean you just close your eyes doing nothing. Or you kind of like thinking about somebody or something or chanting something. Especially when it comes to vipassana meditation. This is about understanding deeply how things come to be as they are within your own moment of experience. So for that, you have to break through this conventional level of habitual patterns. And you have to go beyond that. And that is where your practice little by little become advanced. And that is what we call self-mastery. And then by the time you go towards self-realization. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Sopateva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So, in the beginning, deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. When it happens through the sensation, recognize it. So don't try to disturb to the natural process of breathing. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, the stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away. Already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward, visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward, and upward. to all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun. Spread the light, to spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance, or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Also, by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Yattavata chamyehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Maya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipattiya Buddham Pujemi Dhammang Pujemi Sanghang Pujemi Attaya Imaya Patipattiya Jati Jara Vyadi Maranam Ha Paribunjisami Idamme Punya Kammang Asavakkaya Vahang Hotu Sabba Dukkha Pamunchatu. Bless you.